Get the YouTube link up. Thanks, man. Is my mic fine, dude? I'm hearing some feedback a little bit. Good music, man. Good music, man. Yeah. I think we're unmuted, yeah. I heard that on the pod, yeah. 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 Fucking drunk dude. Yeah. I just told you I went out to dinner. Nah, it was like that's 5 or 6 vodka lemonades, dude. Can't, dude. Yeah, I don't care you, man.
Yeah, should definitely be able to hear the mic man. Sorry for the behind the scenes you guys had to hear. It's what happens behind the producer's curtain, so to speak. The Mac man lacks discipline. He's about 6 drinks in on this New Year's. 2026, big year for the TPL. We'll be transitioning to the National Dex format. Heading forward for probably the remainder of Generation 9, according to sources close to the producer. Isn't that right, Mac?
Yep. Yeah, man, we're excited. Wrap it up. Kind of like, you know, this generation, right? 2026, new gen coming out. Nat Dex, keep it rolling.
Yeah, so we got some playoff matchups here. Not really sure what transpired during the regular season, but I do see that Chiva ended up with the 1 seed. Wow. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, Chivas snatched the 1 seed, took down TB in the head-to-head. That was the difference there. Chiva with the comfy sweep.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
Actually, I think I remember that series. Yeah, but that was a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, like I said earlier on in the season, I think Chiva, the Mikey favorite to make it out of the Cerulean Conference and ultimately win the finals in a matchup against Staying Safe, who I believe also was victorious today.
Yep.
Yeah, Staying Safe.
Yeah, TB took down Blank back-to-back weeks.
Wish we had a mechanism to avoid those sort of back-to-back weeks. You know, playing that week 8, same into the first round of the playoffs.
Something the producer is going to have to work on the analytics there. I have a question. Mac, are you participating? No. If it was not, yeah.
I have a question of my own. What in the heck is dry January?
Dry January is when you don't drink. And it's already January 1st. And took Mrs. Mac out tonight for a nice dinner at the local tavern. Um, Split a chicken finger and fries. I had 6 vodka lemonades.
Producer's looking at me right now, very confused, still not quite understanding dry January.
Dry January is when you don't drink.
Yeah, I think it's
all
the
the
don't
January
drink part that's really stumping them. Can't really see a reason why. Anyway, are we gonna move into some predictions here? I know 2 of these series have already been completed. Got 2 eliminations. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a sir. Thank you.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, MRF failed Mr. Boy in 3. Excuse me. Yeah, that's we certainly are slammered here. Mardo fell to staying safe in 3. Gritty series there. 2 scrappy veterans went at it. Necrozma and Iron Moth, good showing. Manaphy, put in some work there. Ursaluna with the assault vest just puts a lot of pressure onto the Terrapagos and Thunderous. For Marto, you saw a lot of hesitance there to poke the bear, if you will. Bear was poking back.
What are we hearing so far about this roster of players? Who's looking to return next season? Have we heard?
Well, we have heard there has been some interest from Chiva, and Chiva is looking for Nat decks, no Terra. I support that. I really don't want to see Terra back another season. I think we had a fine, experiment with the low tier Terra, but I think it's time to move past maybe another season. We had the season before that without Terra. I liked it. You did see top 3 leaderboard there.
Yeah, we're hearing from the producer. Terra ban pretty much set in stone at this point for the National Dex format. A possible hidden power ban and some other rules possibly on the block there. Definitely have to be some deliberation from the board as we move on into next season. Exciting. Seeing some Terra Bug Harrispan from Xenom. Harrispan. Is that Heracross?
Yeah.
Big fan of Hera. Tell you that much. Curator not a fan of Nat decks per reports. That's from Frisian. Yeah, I don't think the curator is, but the producer, big fan. Big fan. I think the fans are big fans. Big fans of Nat decks.
Yeah, hidden power needs to go as well. That's just I think it's a lighter form of Terra, if you will.
I think in a draft format, it's kind of a binary, boring choice to make every series. You see a quadruple weakness on the other side, and you just slap a hidden bad. Boring. Hello.
Right. And it cleans up a lot of your clouded judgment, I think, building. Right. You got that 4-move syndrome. No problem. Here's a 5th move you can throw into the, the builder.
Speaking of cleaning up, Tommy Tutu, according to reports, has shaved that goatee.
Yep. Yeah, it still looks like a box head, though. Let's get into these predictions. Producers telling me I'm playing Lit Cat at 11, so we're trying to keep this somewhat, concise here.
All right. Well, I got Lit Cat 2-0. That'll be quick.
Sure you do.
Moving on, we've got Chiva versus Sable 9. Knowing that Chiva's the 1 seed, I think that's also fairly easy to predict.
Yeah. You haven't seen much from Sable 9. Just Chiva rolling through people at this point pretty easily. Just gonna see normal stuff. Goldango putting in work, Cyclazar putting in work. Comfy will probably be a Terra.
Not long ago, so I hope Chiva does get it. Big fan. I'm gonna have a
Chiva TV took down Blink, so nothing there.
We'll be there for that one. Probably not gonna tune into the rest of these. I'll be honest. Lit Cat versus Machiavelli, possibly. I do see that Greedon is the 3 seed. That's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, he really grinded it out. He took down a couple of big hitters.
Jump around here now. Xenom wants to hear the thoughts on his matchup. Let's see what we've got between Xenom and Tomato. Have you got the sheet up there, Mr. Matt?
Yeah, I do, boss.
All right, let's see.
Tomato.
Go ahead. Just
Tomato's got. Huh?
Nothing, man. Go ahead.
Well, you asked me for the sheet. Yeah, Tomato's got Meowscarada, Chomp, Enamorous, Rotom, Wash, Talonflame. Even Hitmontop is there. Xenom is.
What do you think about the matchup itself?
I'm getting there, boss. Yeah, Phalanx has been a weak point all season. Not really sure why it keeps coming into each matchup. Most of the time, it's just a bulky, no retreat, and then it doesn't really do anything. Really just playing 5v6, in my opinion, from the Xenon camp, especially versus the Mac camp. But But I mean, I think he's got an interesting scenario here. I just don't. I see Tomato being in a better situation. You know, you do have the Petrarant there to hinder an Amorous and how much it can do.
It's one of the worst
I just think,
Petrarant matchups I've seen on paper, though. A bit unfortunate there, matching up into the Meowscarada, the Garchomp, and then several other Mons that don't really care for it all that much.
right. I'm gonna go Tomato though. I just think Chomp forces a lot of bad situations here for Xenon. Even if Heracross goes Terra Ice, which we've seen it use them before. No, you can kind of go into Rachi, and especially if it's Scarfed or whatnot or Banded. Even Talonflame, can kind of switch into that. Even if it's not Guts. He has to go Moxie, then it's kind of a 50-50 there. If he goes Moxie, he gets burned. Yeah, I don't know.
I like the way Phalanx looks here on paper, A pretty good matchup into that Garchomp. Could this be what Xenon was waiting for all season long with the Phalanx? No retreat, Terra into hell, I don't know. I don't want to give him too many ideas. This is a playoff match. Definitely some potential there, though, in my mind.
Yep.
But you got Tomato, you said. I want to lean.
Yeah, I got Tomato 2-1.
I don't really know. I haven't really watched much of either, but I like Phalanx. I think we're back in Phalanx here. I think Phalanx sweeps both games, and it's 2-0. So moving on. You don't agree?
Nah, I just think. I don't know. I just think that Chomp Chomp looks so good here, man. Especially after a Swords Dance. I mean, Sylveon maybe can run a Berry to take an Iron Head or a Poison Jab. After Swords Dance, Chomp just looks like it's eating up food there. Boulder can't do much.
Got the Don fan there, big guy, bulky guy.
Sure.
Possibly a booster speed Boulder. If Garchomp were to get that Scale Shot speed boost there, maybe even something like a Scarfed Zarude. A lot of options, I think, for the Xenom camp. Maybe he tries to overwhelm Tomato with the combination of Heracross and Phalanx. Very strong. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to agree. We'll revisit this when we do the next pod in 8 or 9 months. How about that, buddy?
Yeah. Give me 3 or 4 months.
Let's not joke so much. Let's take this a bit more seriously and move on to MRF and Mr. Boy now. How did these
Mr. Boy
playoffs? Come on, give me a break. Is it scripted? Let's go.
Mr. Boy has never beaten MRF. We heard. MRF
Father-son matchup here then.
Yeah, this is like Cleveland versus Toronto from the early LeBron era. LeBronto, as some would like to say. MRF has got pretty much all the answers that you really can ask for. As far as Mr. Boy, what he's going to try to do. Ting Lu, really doesn't really care what Metagross is going to do there, right? I mean, you're just going to sit there and snack. I mean, Vileplume can come in. But I don't know. I feel like Mr. MRF's just got all the answers. And Teleon played pretty good in this matchup before. I believe it was Tower Electric. Hit Mola right in the gullet. And then Polt really couldn't do much.
Like the Dragapult matchup here. A little Hexpult action. Really tough.
Yeah.
I think you U-turn.
Gotta watch out for Caesar.
A couple times. I think that could be big. The problem I have with Loma Mola is, it's just set up fodder for so much. You put a substitute up on that Quake Wave. Well, good night! Same thing with Raging Bolt there. Definitely something to keep an eye on. On paper, I think MRF definitely has the better matchup. And like you said, it's a bit of a father-son relationship at the moment, but MRF on top. So I think I got to lean MRF. Big fan of that guy, too.
Yeah, I'm going to go MRF 2-1.
Yeah, something else to look out for, though. Possibly a Choice Band low kicks could prove troublesome, especially if you've got, the hazard control via Cinderace. Definitely something to look out for there. What you switch into that, bang, taking a lot of damage from those first impressions and those U-turns, possibly knockoffs. Mr. Boy gonna have to get creative here, I think, to overcome MRF. Then Mardo and Staying Safe already happened, so we're almost through these predictions. Let's go to Pacheco and Frost DP, the unlikely 5 seed.
Yeah, DP hasn't really been locked in. For the most part. I mean, a lot of people are taking DP to win this series just because of the body of work, but I'm rolling with Pacheco. Mimikyu led the league in kills. and I think it's going to play a big part in this series. DP will probably have to bring Milotic again to haze out those boosts, but the problem is, if you look at Pacheco's team, it's got a lot of things that can really threaten Milotic. You know, Ogre Palm, how you doing? Even if it's Terras, you can come back in later and, you know, kind of fix it yourself. Tornadius comes right back in. Excadrill with the Mold Breaker, of course, possibly.
Yeah, you really want to bring Heatran, you know, for the Mimikyu matchup, and maybe to even trap and abuse the Toxapex. Well, the problem is the rest of the team just does not care about Heatran at all. You know, the
problem is too. The problem is too. In the last matchup, Mimikyu, Drain Punch, Swords Dance, Heatran. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, still got two chances at a Flame Body burn most of the time. But yeah, the rest of that team just absolutely punishes Heatran. So they see Heatran on the bench. Milotic definitely gonna have to come. I like Milotic as a Terra Captain. I thought that was one of the better picks at the early stages of this season. Frizion says locked in Pacheco could probably rival Prime. I'm not even finishing reading that. The disrespect here from the Frizion camp in the chat. Officer Greeting, clean that up. What the hell? This guy.
Not really sure what that means, yeah.
I like Frost DP, I think. But I guess it depends. He's not performed well this season. I'm going to have to ask maybe the Tobias camp, see what's going on out there in DP land. I like his roster a lot. But sources are pretty high on Pacheco as well. Frizion really backing him here. And you like Pacheco 2-0?
2-1.
2-1. I think I'll take DP 2-1 just so we have a little split there. That's going to bring us now to Greedent and Luxio. Scrappy veteran trainers here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Greedent's gotten the 3 seed, but I haven't really liked the Valiant usage, nor the Gouging Fire usage, really, this season. I mean, for the most part, he's been scraping away wins, but it hasn't been because of those two. I mean, for the most part, a lot of the times, he's setting up and getting one shot in front of things. I think there was a series last time where he could have set up Gouging Fire a little bit more expertly, and he kind of just let it get one shot by something. I think it was like an earthquake. Pretty sure he was playing Tobias, and really could have, you know, put a lot of pressure on him, and he just didn't take advantage of it. Those two Mons have got to be better. Weavile's been playing good all season. Alcremie actually swept Tobias. No, not Tobias. It was a 6-foot joint. He, you know, that was a series. Gouging Fire could have went to work, and he swept Alcremie, but
I'm glad you brought up 6-foot joint. That's one thing I'm not seeing out of here. That was I think a Tobias acquaintance who came, you know, highly recommended.
Yep.
I'm just not seeing his name on the playoffs here.
It's a lady. Yeah, it's actually a girl.
Oh, I'm not seeing her name on the playoffs joint here.
Yeah, no 6-foot joint in the playoffs. Highly regarded member.
What happened there?
Highly regarded lady. Hello?
What happened there?
They got pinned, smuggled, bamboozled.
Wow.
Lost a lot of games. Let's pull them up. A lot of games that they should have won.
Let's finish this.
You can blame hacks all you want, but when you're losing to Sable 9, that's a tough one. Beat Blink 2-0 somehow. Lost to Chiva 2-0. Got pinned by Comfy. And then lost to Greedent 2-0 at the end there. The win in your in, if you will. Just bad all around.
Yeah,
took over week 4 versus Tobias and lost.
Yeah, Tobias making excuses in the chat right now. Really no excuse for it. Greedent and Luxio. I like what I see from this matchup on paper, and I really like that those two are next to each other on the sheet. Makes it really easy to analyze this matchup. Weavile has a good matchup here for sure.
Yep.
And you know, I think Luxio, you know, despite having Great Tusk, a little light on the fire resist, and you really don't want to bring like a Rockwinet or something in on Gouging Fire if you can help it, especially if it's like a boosting Morning Sunset that could get nasty quick. I think Greedent has the pieces. Does he have the pedigree?
I mean, with Valiant, it could be the ultimate game changer here. It's just what set he brings and when does he use it. I think that's the problem. We have seen Luxio run Life Orb Clef in the past that put in work for his TB. He was actually giving him the hands there. Could we see it this week? Possibly. I think the problem is, right, your Valiant set has got to cater to what Glow King is going to do, right? I mean, Glow King obviously take a hit you back with a Sludge Wave or even like a Psychic move, get good chip. You got to really tiptoe around it. But Weavile, I mean, like you said, good matchup here. What set is Weavile going to bring?
The thing with the Glow King is it really heavily discourages you from running a Specs Valiant set.
Yep.
But I think there's some ways around that too. You can run knockoff, on the Specs set, and then abuse it with hazards if it comes down to that. A lot of ways around that.
Swords
but I
Dance
think
too.
Luxio's just got the matchup on paper to take Greedent out of here.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Greedent is one of the more volatile players. I compare Greedent to Willis a few seasons ago. What Willis is going to show up, it's almost like what Greedent's going to show up, right? A few seasons ago, Willis can knock off, some of the top guys, but then he's dropping games versus, Tommy Tutu or Frisian, and you really kind of question, who the actual trainer is. It's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. I think you're going to see that here. I think this one goes to 3. I'm going to lean Greedent. I just think that Weavile is going to play a big part in this series.
I think Greedent gets it done 2-0. Now, finally, we've got Chiva and Sable 9. Is that right? We can analyze this one?
Nothing. Yeah, we did that one. 2-0 Chiva.
Well, that's it then.
Yep.
We move on to these
Yep.
replays, unless I'm mistaken.
Hit him. Hit that music. Tobias said Life Orb Club got 2 kills in 3 games. It gave no work, buddy. You were heated.
I got worked. Anyway, we got the replay up. Oh, Mac, you're going to need to start it at the same time as me, buddy.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull them up.
Yep,
Which one are we doing first?
We are doing Frost DP versus Lil Luxio.
All right, hold on. Let me pull them up.
Pull it up.
All right, Frost Deep versus Low. Yeah, this was one of the games of the season here.
All right. Play that thing when you are.
I just hit it.
Let's go. We got Star Raptor
All
versus
right.
Clefable.
Yeah, so number 1, good shiny from DP. Yeah, this is kind of one of those series, right? I mean, Luxio, if he was going to get in the playoffs, he was going to have to muster wins against these guys here. Chiva, TB, Greedent, DP, just a tough conference, obviously. But I believe this one went down to the wire, Mikey. I mean, what are you seeing on both sides here, team-wise?
Frost DP really wastes these reflect turns here pretty efficiently. Team-wise, yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what really stands out to me. No flying resist outside of Bisharp on Luxio's side, who definitely doesn't want to take an errant close combat. Something to look out for. See if Star Raptor is able to really put in that work here.
Yeah, Raquinid here. Good chip on the Serena. High jump kick. Nope. Thanks for coming out. Really wish we saw the shiny version of the Araquanid here.
Tough game here for Clef. There's really nothing it wants to come in on. Mamoswine's going to do a ton of damage, even to a bold variant. Weezing's going to punish it. And it's not going to take repeated hits from the Urshifu either.
Yeah, throw chop there. Not much it can do. DP predicts the Fairy Terra and then gets whacked. Not really sure what that nickname means.
Would the Wicked Blow not have KO'd?
That's a good question.
Even
would have been close, right?
Yeah, it's quite a bit stronger.
There's another reflect. This one goes down to the wire. Weezing going to come in and force out the Clef, but this Araquanid, man, it's a little bit of a nuisance here. Just getting those wishes, getting healed.
Yeah, Weezing proving to be a bit of a nuisance here itself with the Protect and the poison there. That's an Endeavor or Araquanid. That's not what Weezing's going to like to see, but possibly has Pain Split on the set.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit.
Appearance.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would have liked to see Slowking come out here at some point. There it is.
At this point, a booster speed Iron Leaves could be quite threatening.
He actually did play pretty good with this Mon this season.
Rindo Berry, though. Ouch. Wasn't going to KO anyway. Yeah. Mamoswine deceptively bulky on the physical side.
Yeah, former Soho member. We know how good it can be. The problem is here, though. I'm just looking at that sprite. I haven't seen that Great Tusk sprite yet. Looks like it's new. Late game Great Tusk looks pretty good here, man. If you can get rid of this Weezing.
Easier said than done, but he's going to leave the Weezing in on the Glow King. A bit of deli mode there, probably what the curator was thinking.
Not really sure what that was about. Yeah, he can sack. Yeah, he can sack the Glow King now. Now you just reflect, right?
Yeah, it goes for the flinch there.
EQ takes care of business, but like I said, this Great Tusk is chilling. No pun intended. There's a rapid spin. And then it pretty much cleans up here, if I'm not mistaken.
I would imagine so, looking at what remains.
Right.
Crashness, unlikely to make much of a difference. That's a leftovers Tusk, too, so that's going to be very tough to do anything against.
Yeah, he went for the double rapid spin, just, making sure that the Scarf Raptor doesn't outspeed. Boom, thanks for coming out. Thanks for dinner. And I'm not going to pronounce that thing. We'll give it a... Fans want to see me pronounce it.
Wow, lives that. That's incredible.
Yeah. Chuckaberry. But it's alright, because that Roaquinid, bulkier than your sister on a Thanksgiving night. How you doing? Down goes Heatran.
Why the Heatran wasn't brought in on the Slow King to begin with, but I really think Heatran's such an obvious play there. I think it's a bit of a throw there from DP. We're moving on now to Vasquez 2.0 versus My Boy.
Yeah.
Tell me when
Vasquez 65 taking on Franny Boy. I hit it.
Hit it.
Yep.
So we got a Rotom Wash, great lead, very agile, but unfortunately comes up against that Raging Bolt, who could be looking to set up here. Not a lot of damage.
Yeah, I really like Franny Boy's team this season, man.
Oh, there's the Stealth Rock. And the Substitute. Wow. He's going to try to set up here. No way you're breaking that sub with a Body Slam.
No.
Guy's too bulky. Big fan of Sub Raging Bolt. It's been featured on some Peckerton teams at times.
Yeah, look how bulky it is. Just going to sub again.
Yeah, and you're not going to paralyze it. It is an electric type.
All right, there's the T-Bolt. I think the problem is now... The problem now is you just got to worry about Chomp coming in. Yeah, exactly, right here. Here it is. Scale Shot Chomp. Does break the sub. I think that was the only thing I would be fearing if I was MRF. D-Pulse takes it out, actually.
Good play
I thought it was right in range.
But, 4 to 5. Sometimes you need the extra roll. Even then, it looked like it would have been close.
I thought it was going to be close. I don't remember this game. This game was a while ago.
Yeah, no need to apologize for that. That's just the way it goes sometimes when you're relying on those odds to come through for you.
Braviary actually played a pretty good role in the series versus me. He went for the poison variant to stop Sneasler. Unfortunately, he got put to sleep by the Sneasler. Here's the Inteleon. I really like this Mon this season. Finished top 3 in kills.
Wow, Hydro Pump miss, unfortunately. I'm sure that would have done a lot of damage to the Rotom Wash.
Yep. Yeah, especially with the wood. Not a good switch in on the team. And like you talked about Rotom Wash in the past, just deceptively bulky in certain scenarios, but, not in this one.
I guess deceptively frail is the term I
frail, excuse me. Yep,
Wash, yeah.
That's the Vaca, yeah. Yeah, frail.
That knockoff did a ton. Yeah, Rotom Wash, it's one of those things you can't really rely on it to switch into much at all, especially at this point. Maybe 5-10 years ago, you get a bit more out of it, but now it will easily fall to, 2 hydro pumps, Terrawater hydro pumps like that.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way. When I had Rotom, had to get rid of it. I think the problem now is, Rachi's got the momentum. Like, yeah, you get rocks up, but, at what cost? Everything's getting parried. Look at this.
Wow.
Poor Inteleon's pretty much useless. Rotom comes back in. No ground type now. No Tinglu, obviously, so you can just click Volt Switch. Pivot out in something.
Yeah,
boom.
76%. Wow.
Yeah. Really would have liked that earlier, right, Bob?
Sure, but you could have also, click Snipe Shot or Surf and gotten a similar result at this point. If it's,
Sure.
We're talking 2-hit KOs on everything anyway. Unless there's a KO, a 1-hit KO you're looking for with Hydro Pump or, like a 2-hit KO. I'm not sure you want to be risking those Hydro misses.
There it is.
Big fan of Tauros Blaze.
I think the problem, Tokyo Reggie, not really sure what that nickname is. Unfortunate Protect there. There's the Bullet Punch. Boom.
It's a Swords Dance.
Comes down to the wire here, Mark.
I'm not sure what's going to be able to stop this at this point.
I think Parahax will. There's the knockoff. A lot of body slam hacks this series. Bullet punch should kill here.
Yeah, Jirachi, not a fan favorite.
Oh! Would bullet punch have killed there, Mikey?
You know, it's hard to say. Depends on the investment.
It's close. That knockoff. Oh, and he lives at 1%.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
I
good
think MRF
TV.
has got to pull that calc up. Yeah. Down to the wire, Mark. Yeah, MRF's got to pull that calc up. I want to know if that bullet punch killed there. Versus the Rotom.
Definitely could have made a difference there. A regular season, who wants to be fiddling around with a damn calc during a series, you know? Let's move
We
on
have
now.
Trilly in the chat.
Oh,
by the
Trilly
way.
joining us.
Yeah, Trilly in the chat.
Yeah, we know it's quad resist. It says we're still able to do quite a bit to the Rotom W with a +2 bullet punch. Especially says we didn't see boots, unless I missed like a knockoff or something. Oh, they
They
did
said we
check.
checked. I want to know what the
What
percentage
did it come
was.
out to with your set? That'd be interesting because I think Rotom came in at like 23% there. We got Machiavelli versus Xenon now.
Yeah, this one was picked. Yeah, me and Xenon just didn't get along. I think he just set me off when he rated my team a 4 out of 10. You know, this one, you know, got a season high of viewers. I think we had like 13 people in here. Fans wanted to see this one. Played good though. Good counter team, I think. Yeah, we're rolling.
Saying Scizor was a berry. That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, this one it was tough. I think to prep for because I had no clue what he was gonna do.
Not a great phalanx showing there.
Yeah, I mean some of his mons I kind of just really did not look forward to seeing. I mean, I think Don Fan, obviously one of the great Sneasler answers. Phalanx right off the bat here, I'm thinking, okay, this thing is max defense. Went for a sleep there, didn't get it. I think he predicted me going to like a Poltegeist or something there, hence the knockoff. So yeah, now I think right here, Don Fan is just really super annoying.
Nice Terra Bug
So-
ring there.
Yeah, it ended up backfiring him on him in game 3. I had Cloyster, and I shell smashed and clicked Rock. Yeah, Rock Blast versus Empoleon when he went Terra Bug. Ended up sweeping. Not in this game though. This is a different game, but yeah, Terra Bug I think was the meme of the season. You know, people said my team was super weak to bugs, so I think he brought that to kind of crack some jokes. But yeah, I really liked his brings here. You know, with the electric terrain, obviously with the Thunderous setting that manually, and then having Boulder late game to outspeed some of my mons. It's really tough here for Poltegeist to get in. As he's seen, he's playing pretty good defense, and you know, Defog obviously is going to be super annoying.
Yeah, sorry, I've been falling asleep over here watching the Psychic Terrain for the 8th
What's the
season in a
problem?
row. Good lord.
Sorry.
Falling asleep.
Yeah, right
over
here. Yeah, right here he hazes, and ends up being a good game, man. You should pay attention here.
Yeah,
I got a
knock
little
off
Lit
there.
Cat. Now we're still doing the pod. Hold on. Until Lit Cat.
Yeah, we'll be wrapping it up after this one. That's a rude.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Looking pretty good. Bad knockoffs though. You gotta expect that Terra coming.
Yeah, you really just hate to see it here at this point, right? Not really sure why I sent Sneasler in versus the Zarude. I think I was just kind of I didn't even know what I was doing there. But
It's with
yeah, the
electric
knockoff
terrain
there.
Oh, we're gonna get the
Huh?
speed. The electric terrain there is definitely an interesting play.
Yeah, obviously he wants to get rid of
At that point, it doesn't really do anything for you, though. Unfortunately, the weak armor is what did him in, you know, hitting that
Yep.
Poltegeist with the Zarude. Guy didn't read Terras. He didn't care. He did not respect the Mac Man, and that I can respect. So, shout out to Xenom for a pretty good game there. I think he gets it done next time you two meet.
he's got to beat Tomato to let that happen.
Buddy, beat this. How's that sound? That's it. That's all we got for you tonight, folks. We will be back
Whoa.
next week.
Yeah.
And we're going to get
Have a great night,
Machiavelli
everybody.
and Lit Cat
He said I
going
didn't read
here.
Terra.